Hi, this is Michael Waits recording live from the Singapore FinTech Festival 2024. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Insurance for the New Possible, where we discussed the most innovative ideas in FinTech.
We are joined today by Steve Kim, the Chief Business Officer at TOS. Thank you so much for joining us at the Singapore FinTech Festival 2024. Welcome to Singapore.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. Let's jump right into this. Tell us exactly what TOS is.
Yeah, we believe TOS is one of the very fastest growing company, fintech all over the world.
Oh, wow.
What we are special when you think of the business, we are growing like 30 to 40% over past few years in terms of revenue growth. Not just about growth, the velocity of growth. We are at scale with just 10 years of experience and started with the remittance service mobile app company, more like a Venmo. Now we have 70 different, multiple lifestyle services on top of our banking, securities, and insurance needs. So we are more like Korea's super app platform, covers everything.
Oh, wow. So in a sophisticated financial ecosystem like Korea, where digital adoption is very widespread, like Korea is very famous for this, right? How do you see TOS itself playing like this big transformative role in bridging the gap between accessibility and innovation?
Yeah, even if Korea is more sophisticated and maybe complicated country in terms of finance services, however, when we start the business, the experience wasn't really there.
Okay.
So we set a new bar in terms of intuitive service and the way of digital serving. So we set up the bar, and we believe we made a huge impact to the local market. Now everyone has a really high bar in terms of frictionless service, and also about the more intuitive, the more digital way of the financial services.
I want to get into the intuitive part in a bit because I think it's really important. But just like, what are some interesting ways that TOS itself, it's been around, you said now for 10 years, right? That they're adding to the overall South Korean financial system. How is it adding value outside of its own value, yeah?
Yeah, not just about customer experience. Of course, that's our secret source of success.
Sure.
But on top of it, when we started, there's an example. When we started the financial marketplace, handling about the credit card products or credit loan products or mortgages, all those financial products now became more competitive because we made a marketplace inviting 70 different financial institutions and having really another way of a digital experience to the customer. That actually make a huge social impact. We actually have a research which is with the Boston Consulting Group.
Okay.
They actually figured, even back then, like 3 years back, 2021, they figured social impact of that financial marketplace over $500 million
Really?
per annual. So now it's going to become like a billions of money.
So can I ask you this? Can we back up a little bit? You mentioned at the beginning of this conversation that at the beginning it was just like Venmo, just a way for people, I guess, peer-to-peer, even peer-to-business, to be able to send money around. This company was started by a dentist, right? So what was the impetus? What was the reason why that gentleman decided, I need to build this thing?
Yeah, it's maybe common or typical startup story.
Tell me.
The founder, named Mr. Lee,
Right.
Mr. Singon Lee, made a series of failure, starting from series of mobile application, kind of a social app or dating app, or you name it.
Okay.
There's after series of failure, he actually found the real problem when he handling out or settling down the bill as a startup founder.
Right.
Even if he only has maybe 5 different employees, but sending money in Korea, wire transferring the money in Korea is totally different experience from now.
Right.
You had to have a one-time key. You had to have all the numbers. Even you wash your hands with a clean window PC. So that's my joke of a Korean way. But you should have clean hands.
Right. I got it.
But that's sort of a problem. He found a way of real innovation, and suddenly it came with real success and real attention from the user for the first time in his life.
Right.
In his startup life. Then we applied the same way because previously he wanted success. So that's why he made the huge design savvy applications. But with this Venmo thing or remittance thing, he actually designed, draw the line of those product specification or design, and he simply tested, and he didn't expect a success.
Really? Well, I guess if you
Because
failed a bunch of times starting,
It's a bunch of a series of failure.
Right.
So it's gonna fail anyway. So let's do first.
Right.
Let's do fast.
right?
Then boom. That's a beginning of a success of this company.
So you have used this word intuitive a few times. Why is that feel like it's part of the ethos of Toss? Why is this intuitiveness so important across the product line? Right, 70 products. A lot of it has to be intuitive.
Yeah, we actually following those super app era, meaning the one single application, one single bloody simple application,
Right.
covers many different areas of lifestyle services on top of those financial needs.
Got it.
And when you think of those multiple or various services, experience and design and user experience of design is a real key. And what we found from the other competitors or local competitors or even in global, the application doesn't really have the level of experience.
Right. It's not easy to use, right?
And the way we are achieving intuitive and real frictionless services, we actually had a lot of data. We seeing when you press, when you stop typing,
Really?
when you pause. So we are watching it. And why we have one single application as Super App, more like a Grab or the other, Super App example, we have at least 100 different deployment version in the air. And we are following every single those 100 version of usage by testing A/B testing and by testing all the customer feedback.
Right.
And then we are applying those customer feedback loop. We are really focusing on that feedback loop is as fast as possible.
I like it a lot. So I have this saying, nobody succeeds alone. And if you're at $1 billion of revenue and on your way to almost $2 billion of revenue, partnerships actually end up being really important, particularly for fintechs, right? So can you share some examples of Toss's partnerships and how they enhance the experience and customer satisfaction?
Yeah, we believe that partnership, of course, is a success of the source of success. And what we are calling or what we are saying is a more kind of Asian or Oriental way. What we are doing authentic. We are really authentic. We are really meaning about the customer success.
Right.
Here's an example. When you think of a fintech app, the most important, the part of experience is about account opening,
Right.
or subscribing some financial product, or you are, getting a loan. It's a long process. When you think of a mortgage on the mobile app,
Right.
it's such a painful way. And we started advising customers or partners to make a level of services. In terms of user experience, it didn't really go well.
Okay.
So way we done is we made our example, and with the source code and with the technical account manager, with our engineers, and we met the customer and partner, and we helped them to build out that level of services on their own.
On their own?
Yeah. So that's more like a free consulting services.
Right.
I have a consulting background, but it's more like the free services on their on-site manner.
And does that end up making the products better?
Yeah.
It does.
Because our success and our revenue, it depends on their success. So
Yeah,
we
for
have
sure.
no doubt, we are investing a lot, we are investing more, then we're going to have a more huge success.
So do you also partner with big traditional established financial services firms? You do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and if you do, you can choose any of them, but what are the core principles that guide with whom you want to work and with whom you don't want to work? How do you decide?
That's a great question. Not just about the large institution manner in terms of, the size manner.
Right.
What we are focusing on is focus on impact. So if we can work together, get a greater success and more huge success, then we're going to we're going to prioritize. And if not, and of course we are serving as a very low profile, we are the Asian.
Right.
So we are doing really low profile and we are really, doing a lot for them. However, our priority can be slightly different because we are focusing on the impact not only about the revenue or success, but also about the customer, the real customers on mobile
They have to go
app.
together, right? If you're having customer success, almost by definition, it should lead to revenue success, right? If they're not happy, there's not a lot
There's
of
no
revenue.
way we can make money.
Right, exactly. There's not a lot of revenue. But how do you do this? How do you balance innovating quickly with still maintaining sort of, what's the right word? Stability. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fail fast is our motto, of
Fail
course.
fast.
So it's not only about the fail fast. What we are saying is you're going to fail anyway. friends,
Go ahead.
team, you're gonna fail anyway. So we rarely success. So no worries.
So, I mean, of course, Facebook was famous for saying fail fast, right? But it also seems to me that part of this ethos comes from Mr. Lee, the founder of the company, who failed a bunch of times before succeeding here. Is it part of his ethos as well? Like, we're going to fail anyway, so let's just keep going as fast as we can.
Yeah, what we matter, and what he found and what we found is the matter is not about success. It's about the velocity. So
Velocity.
we're gonna do the fast, and we're gonna do a lot. Then even if our success rate maybe relatively low, however, we're gonna get a huge success anyway.
Right.
Because we are, putting a lot of effort anyway.
Is that a common theme inside the sort of startup fintech ecosystem in Korea, or is that something that's unique to TOS?
I believe that's everyone should agree, but it's still unique. Our culture of the country, of nature, isn't really allowed, and the kind of failure, the meaning of failure in Korea, a lot.
Yeah, fair enough. So many people see financial products as complex or confusing, right? We talked before about intuitive, but how do you make it easy to understand?
Yeah, that's something something very difficult to answer, because we amount of effort we are doing is really various manners, starting from how do we saying. I mean, we have let's say 200,000 regular employee, and mostly are engineers or designers. How do we speak in same one single style of language? Let's say like a Michael saying. How do we toast saying message?
Right.
We put AI, we put ML, we put whole bunch of workflow systems to make a same. Everyone speaking same, everyone speaking serving same, everyone speaking the way of serving is exactly same. That's the way we invest a lot on the TOS way.
That's really interesting, actually. And so where else do you use artificial intelligence inside the workflow for the entire company? And for products as well?
Because we're a highly regulated market,
right?
Of course, I mean, as a part of the financial ecosystem, we cannot use, large LLM or AGI in the service manner. However, in back then, what we are serving the customers, so we are making a whole lot of designs and making test versions of applications. That can be done with AI a lot.
Fair enough. Okay. Trust is really important in fintech, right? One of the things that these big institutions have worked on over time, for better or for worse, right, is getting their customers to trust them. How does TOS build and maintain trust as a new fintech, not that new, but still only 10 years old, with its clients and new clients?
Yeah, we concerned a lot. Let me give you two examples.
Please.
Number one is when you start a startup company, this fintech company named the TOS about 10 years back.
Right.
Our seventh member was not about CTO or super developer, full stack engineer. No, we hired CX person,
a customer experience person.
Customer experience person.
Interesting.
Out of 7 members.
Wow.
So now while we have 2,500 employees as a regular employee,
right.
On top of that, we have another 300 regular employees for the CX only. So we are the
Say
one.
That again, how many?
300.
For customer experience?
Customer experience, people. And we really high level of services. On that example, we actually cover 24 hours. So we are the digital bank. We are the fintech company.
Right.
We are accepting customer call, the voice call even.
Voice call,
chatting,
24 hours.
24 hours.
Wow.
So that's the way we are serving. And secondly, we concern a lot the privacy manner. So about 2 years back, we made a key function of our application. Every single our mobile application user, they can get a report. Any given time, they can get a report. They are consented, they are agreeable, they are agreed privacy information. We gave them a full report, how is agreed, and how we utilize, and how, based on the agreement, and how actually stored and manage it.
Interesting.
So that's the key function we actually developed 2 years back.
And that helps you build trust with them as well. Okay. Where do you see the overall fintech sector going in general, and for TOS in particular, over the next 5 years or so?
Yeah, I mean, this is a difficult question because thinking about 5 years, and who knows?
I know 5 years from before now until now, I couldn't have predicted, right?
Right. But why we are looking at 4 to 5 years, especially in the Korean market,
right?
As a mainly, we see a lot of difference about a lot of change of demographics.
Demographics.
Because I don't know you heard of, but Korea's birth rate it's not really pleasant to say, but our birth rate is 0.63 or 64,
Got it.
meaning we are disappearing,
Right.
which means we actually requires a lot of people from outside of Korea, and also the many people are not really having a baby. Instead, they have a pet. So that's sort of a demographic change. We believe we need to cover for the customer needs.
Interesting.
So, for example, we have a language barrier in the local market. Not many people are speaking the foreign language freely. So, what we are doing is we are making really another level of digital service for those foreigners who are having difficulties to use Korean local financial services, or even the mobile services and any other lifestyle services.
Understanding the demographic changes are impacting countries all over the world in different ways, but this low birth rate stuff,
Right.
it's going to be real interesting in Japan and the United States, like across the world. Okay, Steve, I really want to thank you for doing this. Steve Kim, the Chief Business Officer at TOS. This was really great. Thank you so much again for coming and
Thank you
doing
for
this.
having me again. We
It's my
really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.